The morning everything changed began warm and bright. Cinnamon, burnt toast, and my mom's holiday playlist filled the kitchen. My name is Noah Carter. I was 18 years old, 1 week away from moving into my college dorm. Christmas lights blinked softly along the window like nothing in the world was about to go wrong. Dad asked me to sit down like it was any normal December morning. He cleared his throat. "We've decided to give your college fund to Alyssa," he said calmly. "Alyssa's Christmas wedding and the down payment on her house can't wait. You'll figure something else out. You always do." Just like that, $38,000 vanished in one sentence. Every scholarship I had earned, every shift I worked at the outdoor gear shop, every year they told me the money was waiting for my future. Mom reached for my hand gently. "Sweetie," she said softly, "this is what family does during the holidays. We support each other's dreams." I stared at the red tablecloth, and something inside me froze. Quiet. Permanent. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I walked upstairs and opened the duffel bag I had hidden weeks earlier. 10 minutes later, my entire life was packed for that afternoon. I stepped into the cold December air. Christmas. Lights glowed behind me as the door closed. I walked away silently, but something inside me stayed frozen that morning. The dorm room felt smaller than I imagined. Fresh paint, thin walls, one narrow window. My new roommate looked up from her tablet. "You must be Noah," she said. "I'm Lena." She shook my hand firmly. "Design major. Senior year. Zero filter." Within minutes, she somehow knew why I left home. I hadn't planned to tell anyone. The words just spilled out. The first few months hit harder than winter. Classes started at 8 a.m. No excuses. My freelance inbox stayed painfully empty. Every dollar I made went straight to tuition. I survived on 99-cent ramen for weeks. Some days I skipped dinner completely. One client paid half for a logo and disappeared. Another canceled a full project 2 days before the deadline. Most nights I worked in the library basement. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like they were tired too. One night Lena found me asleep on my keyboard. She didn't say anything. She just left a coffee beside my laptop for $100. A month felt like winning the lottery. Outside, Christmas lights lit up Salt Lake City. Inside, my bank account kept sliding toward zero. I blocked my parents and Alyssa the night I left, but my cousin Maya still had me on her social media stories. That's how I saw everything. Dad posing with a resort brochure under twinkling lights. "Deposit secured." The caption read, Mom zooming in on Alyssa's diamond ring. Alyssa in a bridal boutique wearing a sparkling veil. "Living my dream. Thank you, Mom and Dad." Each post felt like a tiny knife against a bruise, but I kept refreshing. One night at 3 a.m., something inside me snapped. The dorm was silent except for the heater clicking in the corner. I opened Lightroom. I gathered my best winter photos. Snow-covered trails, frozen lakes, golden sunlight breaking through storm clouds, 20 photos total. I turned them into a preset pack called Frostlight. Price, $25. I expected maybe one sale. Instead, 9 people bought it the first week. 53 bought it the second. By week 3, my phone vibrated nonstop. 100 downloads overnight. A travel photography page shared my presets and tagged me. Strangers started asking for tutorials. For the first time in months, I bought real groceries, bread, eggs, fresh fruit. It felt like Christmas. That same afternoon, a thick envelope arrived in my mailbox. Alyssa's Winter Wonderland wedding invitation. Silver letters. Luxury registry list. $6,000. Espresso machine, designer cookware. Contributions. Toward a mountain house down payment. I threw the envelope straight into the recycling bin. Her fiancé Derek had always felt wrong to me. Luxury. Cars at every holiday party. Stories about flipping condos in Vegas. Nothing ever matched when I searched his name. Once I saw him convincing Dad in the garage. 10 grand investment, Derek said. Guaranteed return. Dad wrote the check that same night. The wedding was a spectacle. I saw it through a cousin's accidental live stream. Fake snow machines blowing across the aisle. A choir singing Christmas carols. Ice sculptures everywhere. Alyssa glowing in a dazzling white gown. And my old bedroom had been turned into a bridal suite filled with white roses. I closed the stream. Lena glanced at me. You okay? Yeah, I said. It was easier than explaining it. 30 days later, my phone rang at 6 a.m. It was Maya. No, it's bad, she said. Alyssa had come home early from a trip. She found Derek on the couch with another woman. The woman had a 4-year-old son. Derek was the father. Bank statements were scattered across the kitchen. $42,000 in casino withdrawals. $38,000 wired to Nevada. Wedding gifts already sold for cash. Alyssa filed for divorce the same week. The marriage ended before New Year's. Meanwhile, Frostlight presets past 100 sales. A small outdoor brand emailed me. They wanted a full winter rebrand offer. $3,000. For the first time in my life, money felt possible. Then Mom called at 2:17 a.m. I let it go to voicemail. Noah, please call us. Alyssa is falling apart. Derek disappeared. We need you. I deleted the message. 10 days later, the bank sent my parents a notice default on their $450,000 mortgage they had co-signed for Alyssa's new house. Credit cards totaled $120,000. Mom called again. The bank says foreclosure in 90 days. She whispered, please come home. I drove back once. Dad looked smaller when he opened the door. Alyssa sat on the couch crying. Mom looked exhausted. We need help, Dad said quietly. I stayed near the door. I'm just here for my passport. Mom wiped her eyes. You knew Derek was trouble. Why didn't you warn us? I looked at Alyssa. I was 18 when you chose him. I said, you didn't listen then. Dad sighed heavily. Family helps family. I shook my head. You taught me exactly how that works. I took my passport and left. As I stepped outside, my phone buzzed. A new email appeared. Peak Pulse Outdoor. Exclusive partnership. Offer 6 figures, full creative control. I accepted the offer standing in the freezing air. Months later, I drove past the old house again. A foreclosure sign stood in the yard. Dad loaded boxes into a truck. Mom carried a single suitcase. Alyssa now worked at a small nail salon. Her wedding photos were gone. I kept driving. Some stories don't need endings. That same winter, North Peak Creative opened its first office in Denver, 3 floors. Mountain views, my name on the door. Someone once asked if I would ever go back home. I shook my head. Some doors stay closed for good reasons. And the biggest lesson I learned? Never let someone trade your future for their moment. Because when they need you again, they'll pretend they never pushed you away. If this story resonated with you, like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more stories from Grandma's Story Garden.